Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Just sitting here working on this Bunny Meadows blanket and just thought I'd go live and all that stuff. So, I had to make sure I could hear myself. But how are y'all doing this morning? I hope everybody's doing well. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and my returning subscribers. And if you're new, hey, welcome in. How are y'all all doing this morning? Hey, Kim. Hi, Pam. How are you doing today? And I hope Mr. Crafty's dad is doing well. Hi, Jen and Cecilia and Fuzzy Butt. I love your name. No, I'm just sitting here. I haven't slept much because the crud that I had, and I still have it, but like when I lay down, it just like my chest just feels like it's ugh, you know? So I'm just staying awake, staying up, doing what I got to do. And then I'm so far behind on this Bunny Meadows blanket that I got to get caught up. And I'm like, well, might as well just stay up since sleeping sucks. So, and good morning, Carolyn and Cecilia and Lydia. I only have a couple of minutes before I have to go to recess. A couple more cakes for tomorrow. Awesome. I'm gonna try to be there. This this crud is just taking it out of me. Like, I'm surprised I had any energy to do any of the videos I did past, well, yesterday and the short. It's like, ugh. Oh, that's awesome. And hi, Jessica. How are you doing? You waiting outside Hirschner's? That's awesome. But I did put out a short today, or this, well, just a little bit ago, and it showed the new pattern I'm working on, and it's inspired by Miss C. It's I was able to create some stitches. Hi, Kim. That look like bunnies, and then I created another stitch, flower and stems. So making it's a Boggy Creek blanket. This is one of two that I have planned for Boggy Creek. This one's a little bit harder than the other one, but you know, it it's still all pretty simple. Hey, Roberta, and sorry, I got a cough. It is a very fun pattern, Jen. Well, hello, Missy. Working on have to teaching you how to. Can't even talk. Awesome, Missy. And Mel, yeah, like I'm using a lot of colors because I kind of this is for kids, right? But the way I'm planning it is I'm wanting to do kind of the rainbow fade. Let me bring it all the way up. We start with the purple and then we just go. And that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just it's gonna have a lot of ends. That's the bad thing. Because of all the color change, but the effect is just gonna be, I think, phenomenal. And the person that it inspired this blanket, like when I was asked to do a Boggy Creek blanket, I knew I wanted something that was tied to this person right here. I knew I wanted something tied to her. And when I was able to create the bunny stitch and then figure out how I wanted to do the flowers, I knew what I wanted. Well, hello, Crafty Gypsy. How are you doing? And Vivian. And so I worked it up in my head for a few weeks before I actually started it last week, because I wanted to make sure if there was going to be any possible, oh, what are those things? Problems. I can't think. And working it up in my head, like I crochet all the time in my head. I'm already crocheting like 2 projects ahead. That way I know if I run into a problem, boom, I can fix it. Or I can work it up in my head, the problem, and already have the problem fixed. But, and then the next one I have in my head, the next blanket, it's going to be using Hirschner's neons. Yeah, the neons. And right, Kim. Oh, thank you, Pam. And it's gonna have it's my own design too, and it's gonna have, I'm calling it, what did I call it? I wrote it down. Oh, just because the way things are gonna work. I don't know why. Like when I was working it up in my head, I thought of a microchip. It's gonna look kind of like something like a microchip. You know how they have the little claws, and all of a sudden the name popped in my head of Gigabyte. Don't know why, but that's the name I'm sticking with. And I'm going to be using all these. I have a lot of Hirschner's neons right down there. And I'm going to be using a lot of those into it. And so that's the next one after I get done with this one. And then there's a hooded scarf, but it's going to be done with another stitch that I created. And I know I created it because I've looked around for it. Hey, Sandy. How are you doing? Hi, Steph. So I'm just going to be kind of, well, it's going to be using the hooded scarf. The idea, I've been wanting to do one, but the way it was done is actually a panda idea. And of course, he doesn't know how to take what's up here to put it down, and I do. So I'm doing it, and I'm going to be using it in that Mother Earth Supernova. I think it'll come across really well. Oh, yes, thank you, Kim. But and then what else? What do I have planned after that? There is a Ruana design that I have in my head, and it will be called A Mother's Gift. That's the name I'm going to be naming the Ruana. It's going to have different. It's another stitch that's not out there, and it's going to be in blues, and it's going to have that blue fuzzy yarn on the border of it. They sent me 6 of them, so might as well use them, right? The red panda that they sent me 4 of, I gave to Panda because what am I going to do with it? And the white, I'm keeping for a Santa hat and a Grinch hat. Well, hello, good morning, Mary. And then I'm designing in my head a Christmas tapestry that is nowhere near as big as the one that I did as the Halloween one, but it's going to be really cool. And then just a lot. And then there's, of course, I'm going to be doing a lot of like pre-filming for next year. just because you never know what's going to happen. You know, we just never know. Um, and I have a portable hard drive that's a 4 terabyte portable hard drive. I just upload all my stuff onto there. I have this really scarf I wanted to do for Halloween this year. It's just I don't have the time this year to do it. So I'm going to be able to do it and just film it and, you know, have it ready for next year. And then there was a few other Halloween stuff that I wanted to do for next year. And then there's a couple of shirts I have planned. There's a pullover hoodie, I guess you could call it, that I have planned here. I want to say I'm going to start it at the beginning of the year. Well, good morning, Heidi. How are you doing? And what else? I do have my next Bag-A-Day conversion picked. I'm just trying to figure out how to... I know how to get the stitches. The stitches is no problem. But it's getting the stitch in Tunisian to lay a certain way that mimics the way she laid it. That's the... Hey, Samantha. Good morning. That's the hard thing. And because in Tunisian, the stitch wants to lay this way. Well, I want it to lay this way. So that's going to take me some working and finagling to do. I'm trying to see if I got... No, I don't. It's over there. My swatch. I'm going to get up and get my swatch that of the stitch I want to use. Oh, sorry, I'm in my comfortable clothes because I just don't feel good, and I'm not going to be wearing anything else but my indoor sweats and my t-shirt. But this is the swatch I created. Oh, it goes this. What is the top? So I don't even remember which way I did the top. That's the top. But I want them to lean a different way. I want them to go from that to this. That's the part I'm going to have some trouble with and trying to figure out. Which, you know, I'm good at figuring things out, so... See, I don't know if they even... Heidi, I don't even know if they make Tunisian hooks that big. Let me, especially cabled sets. I don't think they actually... I don't really know because I've never had the need for a Q size hook. Let me see this. My biggest one out of here would be this one. And it is definitely not a Q. It's a P. It's 11 and a half. So I have no idea. It looks like... Oh, come on. I don't know who makes them that big. Nobody I know, or no company I know does. Oh, Nessa, you have one that big? As in Q? Like a 15 millimeter? That's... I haven't seen one. I've never had the need for one that big, so I don't have them, and I don't really work with chunky yarn just because I don't like the way... I don't know. I just never really worked with chunky yarn. I know some of y'all have. You may have. You may have showed it to me, Nessa. But, ooh, make sure I don't hit that mic again. And turn it off and mute myself. Uh, hey, Lynn. I'm just not a big chunky yarn person. I'd rather, my preferred weight is obviously 4. That is my preferred weight. I will work with a 3 and I will work with a 2. But 1, no. Yeah, I mean, you can also do that with, like, for me, I can do that with my 6.5. Well, I have the double handed, but I have like 5 of the same set of 6.5s because I ordered more so I could actually have whips going. Since most everything I have planned in the near future is all going to be in 4 weight, and I can add those together if I need to, and I can still have 6.5s on both because I love working with. That's my needle size. You know, everybody has their favorite needle size. So, all right, you have a good day, Kim. Sorry, I'm just getting my lap elbow blanket so I don't give myself uh tennis elbow again. I learned the lesson with doing that bod blanket. Don't give yourself tennis elbow again. But so yeah, I mean Heidi, you can. That's all. That's the only thing I could think of. And Nessa, she would have. I'm set with the sets I use. I am set with those, and that's the Knitter's Pride, and the metal one is growing on me from AliExpress. That one is actually really growing on me. It's made things a lot faster when I'm in a rush and I am trying to do things faster, like that tapestry that I got done in a week, and this I'm trying to get done because I'm behind. I haven't worked on it since Saturday because I just didn't feel good. And you know, when you don't feel good, you don't crochet. You just don't. You feel like poop, and it comes through on your work. Your tension changes. You skip stitches. It just looks terrible. All right, Amber, be safe. So I didn't touch it. I just rested, and I feel. I mean, yeah, I do feel a little bit better, but not 100% like I was Friday, like or Thursday. Like I really do think I caught it from Joanne's because I'm a homebody and I stay home all the time, and the only time I leave is to go either grocery shopping or go pick up whatever Joanne sent me. Most of the time, I stay home. I don't go nowhere. There's too many people, you know, and too many rude people, and I don't need to get in trouble. Hey, me, Madame P. So I stay home. And after the live on Thursday, I wanted to go get that varsity green, which worked out way better than the other green I had. And I then I woke up Friday morning and I just started feeling like poop. And then Saturday got worse. Sunday I was feeling a little bit better. Then Monday it was like worse again. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay up till it goes away because I go to lay down and it just got worse. So I'm like, yep, sinuses and everything. So I got sick for going to the yarn store or going to Joann's to get yarn for my Boggy Creek blanket. He could have too. He could have brought in something home, but I think because after my live on Thursday, I went straight to Joanne's, and then Saturday, and that's the only time I was around a lot of people. And he could have either brought it home or I got it at Joanne's while I was there because there was some kids with running noses going all around. But so yeah, I just like I said, I just was bored sitting here, and I've already watched so many TV shows that I'm burnt out on TV shows. I'm like there is nothing good on TV anymore. I everything is just blah. And then all the movies are just remakes of other movies. And I don't read, of course, and well, it's not that I can't read. It's just I don't read. And Panda will be like, "Oh, you need to what do you say?" He says, "Oh, get an audiobook. Get it out." I can't listen to somebody else read to me. I can't. And then music, next thing I know, I'm crocheting to the beat of the music and I've skipped like 50,000 stitches. And yes, they really are. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just sit here and watch YouTube. And then I try to go to some as many lives as I can. And then it's just I don't really I'll 9 times out of 10 I'm in a live, but I'm not chatting because my fingers are tied up working on something. It's well, it's always something because I cannot I cannot take a day from crochet. Like the past few days when I haven't been able to work on any of this just ate me up. I knew what you meant. And like Panda finished a blanket that he used my knotted ridge in, and he's getting ready to go in a week and a half to 2 weeks. He's flying up to see his mom for a few days, and he didn't want to start a new blanket. So he was like, "Oh, I can do, he can do his little bunny, have what is it, loaf bunny that he did in glow in the dark." And then he's like, "Oh, I can do some other stuff." And then he was like, "Nope, I need a blanket." So he, he's digging into his yarn stash for that blanket. And then he didn't realize he sits there and he holds out the chain and shows me. And I'm like, you do realize that is as big as, hey, Frizzy, that is as big as the one I made for Bag a Day. And then he's like, really? So, yeah. Well, I hope everybody in Florida is safe. I don't know when, I really haven't been able to keep up or pay attention to when Milton is supposed to land. So I don't know when that's supposed to happen. I just the only bit of news I've been able to pay attention to is whatever I read on the news on Reddit about Milton, because I've just been laying in bed and or sitting in bed, and we have a TV in there, but we don't have cable TV or the like because what we never really watched it. So what was the point of keeping it? And everything we watch is on apps. So, oh, okay. Wow. Man, yes. Pray for them because last I heard it was they was I think Tampa was expecting what between 15 to 20 feet swells or okay, sorry, I thought I miscount because that's pretty high. That's a lot, and that's going to create a lot of flooding again. Yeah, and that's what like Roberta, like my brother-in-law lives in North Carolina, and granted he lives closer to the coast, but he just said that all they didn't even get wind, they just got rain in there, and I know spring had, it was heavy there too. I've been through a few hurricanes and in government buildings, so I can tell you how scared that is. But I've been in a few hurricanes while stationed in North Carolina, and I can only imagine the power that, Helen or is it Helena and Milton have. I know they live on the close. I was stationed in Jacksonville, North Carolina, but I don't know where they live, truthfully, because Panda, he may have told me many a times, but if it doesn't involve yarn or Tunisian crochet, I don't really pay attention half the time. I'm sorry. Or unless he's complaining about work, then I'll listen just so I can give my feedback. But other than that, my mind's always thinking about my next project or the 10th project down the line. And so maybe, yeah, Fayetteville does sound right. Yeah, it is Fayetteville because that's the Air Force Base there, right? I think because I know he was Air Force and he got out, came here, lived here for several years, and then he went back. They just moved back in the beginning of July. Well, good morning, Sid. How are you doing? Just a morning pop up, Stitch chat, and all that stuff. And yeah, because I think that's where. Well, see, that's Heidi. That's me. I have 20 on sheets because that's I'm using project planners, and I got 20 on there. I have a dry erase board that has God knows how many on it, and I take off what I've take off the board to put on a sheet. I erase off my dry erase board, and then I put more stuff on. It just constant. It's a constant cycle, and I'm doing great, Sid. Thank you. Sorry, and well, hello, Diana. Something. See, that's true, Nessa. I mean, I, I'm a one whip at a time person, but there's going to be a lot of these that I need to do. I need to be able to be a multiple whipper. So like I said, I ordered three more of my 6.5 Knitters Prides because there's a lot on my list, and it's gotta go. I gotta get it done. Hey, Demetria. Roberta. Yeah, right. I mean, I look over at my yarn here, and then in the closet, and over here, and I'm like, ideas just keep coming because there's some colors I haven't even bothered thinking about what I'm gonna make with them yet, and then the next thing you know, boom, 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 and then what I've been wait, I gotta order yarn. I need to get a Premier Solid, about four skeins of Premier Puzzle Solid to go with this Premier Kickball for a cardigan I have planned. I need to order yarn for a hooded pullover I have in my head that I need to get out because it's going to have some glow in the dark in it too. And that one's going to take a little bit of time because I not 100% positive how I want the design to come out yet. I keep bouncing ideas off of Panda's head, and then he throws ideas back, and we just keep vetoing each other's ideas, saying how no, it wouldn't look like that, or things like that. Oh, and Yarn is a good listener. Some of my yarn does get bossy. I got some tweed over here that keeps screaming at me. You know, it says, "Make this project you got me for." So I need to make that project here soon. And there's a blanket I want to do, and I just need to find the right yarns. Back, this is story time. So back when I was a kid and when I was born, my grandmother, she would always, for every grandkid that was born, she crocheted them a blanket, and it wasn't a baby blanket. It was a blanket that was meant to grow with you. I call it a growing blanket. It was big enough to fit on a twin bed. But I remember the design she used. I want to recreate that in Tunisian. I've never seen it anywhere else, but I want to recreate it in Tunisian and and make it again. Now I need to find. I know that I'm pretty sure I can get it off from Hirschner's, some of the colorways, but there's like I need to figure out a substitute for some of the. She did a lot of solids, but there was a row of double crochets in between the solids that was a variegated, and she used the exact same variegated for every child, all 22 grandchildren she had, blanket. Mine got destroyed in a fire back when I was young, so she never got around to making one again for me before she passed. So I want to recreate that. It's just trying to find that variegated that looked like what she used. And it's hard to describe it. I just have to look. And when I find it, I'll know. And then there's a few others I want to recreate of hers because she did a lot of stitch patterns herself that she just came up with. But those are going to be really complicated unless I can figure out the Tunisian granny stitch. As soon as I can figure out the Tunisian granny stitch, because it's still giving me a little bit of issues. I know I found a tutorial on it to help me pass that issue, but I'm still having issues right there. I don't know why. But it is what it is. I'll figure it out. And yeah, exactly, Frizzy. It's a great memory keeper. And, my grandmother, she's the one who taught me how to crochet, so I want to do something to honor her too. And then I've got some sci-fi stuff I want to do. Some Star Trek looking stuff, some Firefly stuff that, of course, I can't associate that with them because of, copyrights and all that stuff. But you'll get the gist of it. But how are all you doing this fine morning so far? I mean, Trying to see what the temperature is here. Or going to be today. You don't know. Ain't no way. It's 66. It's gonna be 89 today. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. We go from 90 Saturday to 73 on Sunday. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That is going to hurt. Sandy. But oh my goodness, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Let me get back over here. Where did I put it? There it is. Typing up a new Halloween pattern, and then I need to do a quick test. Take more pics as I go so I can hurry up and get it out. Awesome, Frizzy. And hey, Maritza and Bear. How are you all doing? I was outside with the pups, giving them their morning oh my god, constitutional, and I don't know, I was just like, let me go live. I haven't done a pop-up in forever, and I'm kind of postponing. I gotta sweep and mop the floors. It's just dog hair. We do it about every 2 or 3 days. We have wooden floors, so we just do it about every 2 or 3 days. I mean, I would love to have a Roomba, but I have the one that's in here with me right now. He's scared of his own shadow. So it's like, well, we can't have a Roomba. So about every 2 or 3 days, we sweep and mop. And I just mop because, they're dogs and they dribble a lot. Well, he dribbles. Yeah, Bear, that's like I still feel like poop from the crud, and it's like, like I've been drinking an energy drink. That's what I'm drinking here. Okay, have fun, Roberta. I gave up on Halloween until next year. Probably around January, I'm going to start doing a lot of filming, and I have something I'm planning for probably between April and June, somewhere in there. I am planning something big. I'm not 100%. I mean, it's going to be in there. I'm planning it. It's going to happen. But I'm still not 100% positive of how the project's going to look. Hey, Sugar. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling a little bit better, but not 100%. Like the needle still feels heavy in my hands, but I need to get some work on this done. I'm not going to edit for the rest of the week. There's just no way I got that energy to sit here and just edit. Looking at the screen, just no. Um, oh, yeah, Frizzy. He's a scaredy cat. He scares himself when he farts. He's scared of his own farts. But I think that's my fault from when he was a puppy. I was doing laundry, and you know how that sometimes you put something in there and everything looks even, and it's not, and then the washer's just knocking. And ever since then, he's been a scaredy cat. But that was years ago. Hey, Panda just texted me. Oh, pop up. Hope it goes good. Yeah. But I'm just postponing really what I really have to be doing around here today, which is, I mean, I have to do the floors because I don't want, even though I feel like poop and even when, although I'm sick and everything, I don't want him to come home from work and have to do anything. The way I look at it is I'm home all the time. I'm the one who should be doing stuff, not him. You know, he comes in from work, then that's all he needs to do. Just come in from work, take your shower, get your stinky butt in that shower because I don't want that smell in my house, and then relax. You shouldn't have to worry about nothing. You know, if we're having leftovers, then you can fix your own bowl or whatever plate. But he shouldn't have to do nothing. The only thing he does actually do, because I can't do it no more, that I allow him to do is mow the yard. I can't do it no more. I look slimmer. I wish the scale showed that, sugar. But no, I don't I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. Last month was rough. A spider got me and I ended up in oh my goodness. And just finally got done with oh my goodness, bear. Well, I'm glad you're doing better. Oh my goodness. But like I had to go get checked out for this though because if it was a bacterial infection, I needed to get on antibiotics right away because of my metal joints. And they just said it's viral, you got to let it run its course, but because with metal joints, if you get a bacterial infection, no matter what they do and put you on with IV or antibiotics or whatever, if it's progressed too far, it could actually just stay in the joint, and then you think you got rid of it, then you run your course of antibiotics. Next thing you know, you got it again and again and again. Eventually, they just have to open the knee up, take out the old replacement, put a new one in, and I don't want that mess. I'd rather not have that. So I had to go. And anytime I get like a sinus infection, I'm very prone to sinus infections because thanks to a Navy dentist, and so I have a standing order for antibiotics for that because once that infection sets hold in my joint, then the joint is pretty much in my metal joints. It's got to come out. They flush it for a week, and then they put a new one in, and I don't want to go through that. That's too much hassle. So if I can just stay on top of it, that's all I got to do. Oh, Black Widow or Recluse. Wow. I'm so glad you're doing so much better. I've had to do the debridements for the brown recluses, and oh man, those can be bad. And Nessa, yes, the only thing I want from the tick is the one that makes you sick from meat. When you that's the only thing I would love to have from the tick whenever they bite you is the one that makes you sick when you eat meat, so you stay off meat. Other than that, so I can lose weight. But other than that, no, leave a tick. Yeah, come on, I split the yarn. There we go. Oh wow, girl. But yeah, I've heard a lot of like around here, especially we get a lot of ticks because we're dry, we're hot. We're hot, so there's always ticks, and then there's always oh my gosh, I'm sure it's the same way in most areas. A lot of stray cats. There's a mess ton of stray cats, and so there's ticks and fleas everywhere. We give our dogs brewer's yeast. Our vet told us, give them brewer's yeast once a day, and you won't ever have to worry about ticks. And I didn't understand it, but we've been giving them brewer's yeast for the past 7 years, and they've never had a tick or flea. And they get their once a day brewer's yeast, and they take it. They think it's a treat. They really do think it's a treat. And they'll take medication. They think it's a treat. We've had our first dog that me and Panda got. She was an American Eskimo. We got her when we lived in Connecticut in 2002. And then she passed away in 2011 or 2012. Yeah, Heidi, they've never had either one with that on with brewer's yeast, so I'm guessing it helps with both. That's what he said, because it does something to the blood that they don't like. They don't like that taste of it, so they use brewer's yeast for that. And where was I going? I don't remember. What is he saying now? But got her. We can't move down here, and like the apartment complex we lived up there, she was just covered with ticks all the time, and I was giving her baths after baths, and we just couldn't get ahead of it. And then when she passed away in 2011, then we got our older girl in 2009. She was a puppy. She used to sleep on my neck, like literally just sleep on my neck. And the vet, she was getting ticks, and we just did the whole treatments and everything. And then the vet just went around, and when we went took her to a really good vet, and he's like, just brewer's yeast. It's cheap, it's non-toxic, and it gets ticks and fleas. It prevents ticks and fleas. It's got to build up in the system first. But they take to medication like it's candy or dog treat, whereas the first one we had, oh no, you could hide that in a rolled up full pizza, and she'd still spit out that little bitty pill and eat the whole pizza, which she's done that. Our chicks don't like that heat, like the heat. Yeah, I guess the ticks around here are built different. I guess they're used to the drought conditions and the heat, and I'm not. I'm from here, and I'm not even used to it. I don't like the heat. I want to. The only thing I like about being here is the winters, that actually I don't even like the winters. Yeah, we have mild winters most of the time, but when that wind blows, it's one of those bone. Hey, Kim. It's one of those bone chilling, chills you to the bone cold. And I don't like it. I would like to move back up to the New England area, because that damp cold is really great on my knees, but it's too expensive. We were pricing because we got lucky with our house. We got very lucky with our house. The mortgage is cheap, everything, and then we're pricing. We've priced for things up there, and we're like, no, I would have to sell a kidney just to be able to afford the. No. And then we started thinking about, okay, because his mom is still up there. And so we started thinking about, okay, well, we can try the Virginia area or North Carolina. And those are options for us. But it's like, for what we pay here, for what we have, it's just it's not feasible for us to, yeah, we'd make a killing if we sold the house, but I don't want to move. Yeah, but because I'm the type that if I move, we're doing it in one day. That's packing and unpacking. That's me. Oh wow. Yeah, I'd love to have like chickens, but we have a city ordinance now, and they're getting more tight on that stuff. And see, we thought about that because it would be close to his mom and still would be, within 2, 3, maybe 4 hour drive to either his mom or to his brother. Because his mom, she lives in Jersey, and so does his sister and our niece. That's water in a big black cup. It's just water. That's all. Um, I I don't eat breakfast, but they live in Jersey, and then his brother lives in North Carolina. So we were trying to find somewhere. We know 95, we could be at either one real quick. So that's why we were trying to go along that line. But then when we start looking at prices, and it's like, ooh, and I'm the type that I'm tired. As much as people say, oh, be a homeowner, being a homeowner can suck, you know, because if something goes out, it's on you. And, replacing your air conditioner is expensive. So I'd rather, I'd rather rent. But that's me. But yeah, because I'm to the point. I just want to rent. I'm tired of being a homeowner because everything's on me, on us. At least with renting, it's not on us. And we talked about it, and it even like looking at the stuff that is available in the areas we want to go through. I don't have that turned on, Samantha. Um, the areas that we want to move to, the rent is just outrageous too. For a two-bedroom apartment, they're wanting 1,300, $1,400, and I'm like, what? Because a two-bedroom apartment like here, I have that turned off, Samantha, for channel drops. And yeah, two-bedroom apartment here is like $800, and that's a very nice apartment. Up there, anywhere we go, it's like, oh my gosh. My channel name is my initials, Samantha. And my real life, I have a hyphenated last name. Only a few people know my full name. But yeah, because I couldn't think of anything classy or jazzy or whatever you want to call it, so I just called it my name. See, I agree with you, Michael. I have rented since 2015 at 64. No way would I own property again. Like, yeah, yeah, owning property is great and all, so they say, till the tax man comes knocking. We before we bought this house in 20, when did we buy this house? We moved here in 2013. We got to rent it a year before we bought. And of course, everything that could go wrong went wrong in that year. You know, AC, heating, electrical work, you name it, plumbing, it all went wrong. Well, it was on them to fix, not us. And then when we went to go renew the lease again, they were like, "Can y'all just buy it?" And they gave us a cheap price, so we bought it. And that was in 2014 when we actually signed the papers and bought it. And then we had new windows and new doors put in and painted, and because this, I mean, there's not a lot it needs. It was the VA home inspector came out and said, "If y'all don't buy this, I am," because he couldn't find anything wrong with it. And then of course, they put in the new AC, the whole new HVAC system, so and they fixed a lot of plumbing and electrical. So hey, we made out like bandits on this house. And depends on which area here. Some rich neighborhoods cost, but there are areas that are half decent price. Well, that's here. Like our neighborhood is very quiet. It's more middle class, and it's a very quiet neighborhood. We have a park literally right across the street, a big park, and the windows help, but we don't hear nothing. And then there's areas of town that they guess you call them the richy areas, where homes are going for half a mil up to a mil, and rent in those areas at the apartments that are in that areas are like 12, 13, $1,400 for a one bedroom, and not worth it in my opinion. You can go where the apartment we used to live in is right down the street from us right now. Okay, Nessa, I'm gonna be where we at? Ending it here probably in about 5 minutes anyway. And we lived there for a few years, and we had a one bedroom, and it was just, but that one bedroom was the size of half our house, and we have 1,400 square feet. Hey, Carol. And that one bedroom was that big, and the dining. I mean, we'd never ate at the living room or at the dining room table. We always eat in the living room or at our desk. So we didn't have it. Our dining room, everything, a lot of the stuff stayed in storage because we didn't know where we really wanted to live. That place was quick and easy. We could get in there quick, and it was a first floor, so we had to jump on the first floor because a lot of the apartment complexes around here do not have elevators, and they have stairs. Well, Michael and his knees can't do stairs, and carrying stuff up a stairs is not gonna, it's not feasible for me. So we jumped on it. It was first floor. We lived there for like 2 years until we got this house. Moved in here, and that's the only thing I don't miss about apartment life is having somebody above you. I like not having people above me. But the other part I do miss about living apartment life is something broke. It was on them and not me. But yes, Samantha, just leave. Everybody knows who your channel name is. That I'd leave it. Hey, Lenny. But anyway, I just wanted to say hi to everybody and pop up. You all have a great day. I'm gonna head out. Been postponing it as long as I can, but I need to do my morning chore, which is sweep and mop real quick. It doesn't take long. And then I can get back to working on this blanket pattern. I still got to, I'm going to have it wrote up too. But the video tutorial, I need to drop the 2 stitches that I created first, and then the video tutorial. So it probably ain't gonna. It's probably not gonna happen until sometime middle or towards the end of this month is when that stuff will start dropping, and then I get the blanket off to, or this blanket and the next blanket off to Juan, and get that all going. But anyway, well, you all have a great day. Be safe. If you're in Florida, please be safe. If you're in the direct path of Milton, please get out of the direct path. Think of yourself and your life. But everybody have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time. Love you all.